I have advice for the Houston Rockets. I want them to take the wisdom of fictional William Wallace in the movie Braveheart. For those who haven't seen that movie, William Wallace, played by Mel Gibson, famously takes command of the Scottish army in a key battle in the war between England and Scotland, the war for Scottish independence. There's a moment where the English cavalry decides to charge at the Scottish lines. William Wallace, sneaky one that he is, brought a bunch of long staffs to this battle. And as the English cavalry bears down on the Scots, William Wallace has some very important orders for his men.
Hold! 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 No!
But don't do the now thing. Don't do the now thing. Keep on holding. Hold. I mean, it's going to feel a lot like every single one of us when we're, holding, if you will. But keep on holding, Houston Rockets. Keep on holding. Because reportedly, the Suns have no leverage when it comes to a Kevin Durant trade. I've seen some reports out there about how the Rockets and Miami Heat are a piece or two away from a Kevin Durant trade. Keep on holding, keep on waiting. Eventually, the Suns are going to feel pressure and feel the need to make some sort of move happen. They know that they have to get something in return for Kevin Durant. The most they can possibly get is right now. They're just having a very difficult time dealing with the reality that they're not going to get everything that they're asking for. And all the reports that we've seen about what they're asking for, specifically just taking a look at what they want from San Antonio, where they want Stephon Castle, the rookie of the year, and the number 2 overall pick, they are out of their minds right now. So keep on waiting and keep being patient. The asking price will go down. This is 100% a buyer's market when it comes to Kevin Durant. The sellers are going to lower the price a lot. Just keep waiting, keep holding. Do not pull the trigger, Sean.
Yeah, and the sellers, I would say, or the sellers have a deadline. The Phoenix Suns have not an actual deadline that they need to meet, but a
implied
deadline where a line of the sand where you're like, the offers will get worse after the draft.
Yep.
The draft is their best chance to get a draft pick right now, to get a player right now, and that that this draft pick will be a top 10 pick or top 20 pick, whatever they end up getting, as opposed to having to wait 11 months for the next draft where you're going to get all this stuff. And then the uncertainty of what that pick will actually be. Now you actually have certainty of, hey, we've even talked about the Raptors getting in the mix. Like, even I don't know if they're actually going to make the deal with Toronto, but Toronto's offering the number 9 pick in this year's draft. The Houston Rockets, by our reports, are offering the number 10 pick in this year's draft. So there is a certainty that comes with getting a deal done before the draft as opposed to after.
It is interesting that draft picks are so much more valuable before the pick is made than when it actually is made, even though theoretically the player that is drafted with any pick could theoretically end up being better than the idea of what a pick that hasn't been made could be.
But it's also the thing of, if, say, the Rockets draft somebody, whoever, and they draft the big man from Duke. They draft Malawach, the big man from Duke, at number 10. What's stopping the Suns being like, yeah, we looked at this guy, we hated this guy?
Right, exactly. I get it.
Like, if because you're not, the Rockets shouldn't and won't be drafting for the Suns if there's not already a Durant trade.
No, you're right on that front. I just think it is interesting how much more value a pick that hasn't been made has, because no one really knows what the hell they're doing in the draft. Cooper Flagg might be the exception this year. And we'll see. We don't know. But the deadline will be when the draft begins, which is Wednesday, June 25th at 7 p.m. Central Time. So
So
it's
we
a week from today.
Yeah.
We have a week until this thing actually
And
goes down.
if it goes past it, that's when it like I don't know what happens. Like I don't know like what kind of deal that they're like at the very least the rumored Toronto deal should be enough for the and there's a Phoenix area sports radio host who's well connected in the Suns organization. We've mentioned him a couple times this week
Right.
because he's breaking or at least providing insight on a lot of the things happening. Gambadaro in Phoenix, and he was going through the Raptors trade, and they should make the Raptors trade that he's reporting, where they get a pretty good starting center, they get the number 9 pick, and one of the young guys for the Raptors. Like that, that's the realistic. That is about as good as they can do right now.
Yeah.
Until the Rockets or the Heat or the Spurs want to start upping their offers.
And to bring it back to the Rockets, I think they should hold. And you know what's funny? I think something's going to help them out here. I saw Kelly Eco was, I believe, with Brado and Biased Houston on their podcast. And I think he said that one of the reasons the Rockets are, I think, resistant to trade Jalen Green is because Stone has an affinity for Green. Because Stone selected Green. And this is very consistent with that story about how Kevin Porter Jr. was Stone's guy. Stone's ego might help the Rockets out here because he wants Jalen Green to work out. I get
Yeah.
why he wants him to work out, but there's a chance that he might not work out, you know?
Yeah.
Green is the asset that you could trade that sure you might miss when he's not here, but I don't think Green's ever going to reach his potential here. I think he's going to be a great sixth man someday. And I don't think we're at that phase where he's accepted that that's what he is because he's just not consistent enough on a night to night basis from a scoring perspective. And it does feel like sometimes things get a little bit too big for him. But this helps the Rockets out a little bit if Stone is looking at Jalen Green and has a not misplaced loyalty towards him. With Kevin Porter Jr. was misplaced. It was
Just an
psychotic.
outsized loyalty.
Exactly.
Where the loyalty that he has is not consistent with what he is as a player right now.
Right.
What he is right now as a guy on the court. Yeah, but on the I buy all that. I understand the risk side of trading him away. I will also say there's a chance that we look back and this was the offseason where his stock was the highest. We talk about
Good point.
the element of driving a pick off the lot of the number 7 pick sounds really good until you draft the number 7, the guy who goes 7th in the draft,
Right.
and at least some people would just go, don't really like that guy. That guy's not that good. There's an element of that with Jalen Green on his new contract, where now that you're paying $30 million a year for Jalen Green, now some of it might be teams around the league go, don't really want to pay that check for a guy who, by next season will be in his 5th year in the league.
Very curious to see what goes down. We got a week.